Hey YouTube, this is Josh and today's topic is the worst comic book movies ever. So about a month ago it was announced that Ben Affleck will play Batman in the Man of Steel sequel. That's had a lot of fans up in arms complain that he's been in one of the worst comic book movies of all time, that being Daredevil. And I'm here to show you a list of why Daredevil doesn't come close to making the 10 worst comic book movies of all time. Coming in at number 10 we have Jonah Hex. This is making the list because the whole movie itself was just very dull and boring. The script was nothing special, the acting was only okay, and the action, even when they tried to do big over-the-top action scenes, they didn't play out well. Like the scene where he mows down a bunch of gunmen with Gatling guns on his horse. Probably seemed cool in concept on the big screen, at least myself, I thought it was kind of stupid. One of the best scenes itself is honestly the opening narrative. And if your movie's best scene is your opening narrative, you have issues. And coming in at number 9 we have Elektra, which is the spin-off of Daredevil. And why this movie is making the list and not Daredevil, quite frankly, Elektra doesn't feel like you're watching a comic book movie. It feels like you're watching some crappy written B drama action romance movie starring Jennifer Garner that should have been scrapped well before it ever hit the finishing floor. The action is only okay, the acting is dull, it's a lot of talking, like, it's a comic book movie. We want to see Elektra kicking ass, not training some teenage girl. And I'm not saying Elektra didn't have any action in it, because it did have some, but it wasn't too special. I'm not saying Daredevil's action was amazing, because, you know, it wasn't. It had a couple cool scenes, but that's about it. But the bottom line is, Elektra is a way worse film of a bad movie. It's a spin-off of Daredevil, not a good movie. Elektra, 100 times worse. And coming in at number 8 we have Batman and Robin. Bat nipples, bat credit card, bat skates. Enough said. Now, where this movie did have some pretty cool scenes of George Clooney as Bruce Wayne with the whole Alfred dying storyline, some of those were actually pretty good. But this was a Batman film, not a Bruce Wayne film, which is why this is coming in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 we have Judge Dredd, the 90s movie. This was a over-the-top action, looked like it was filmed in the 80s, but came out in the 90s. It starts Sylvester Stallone as Judge Dredd, where in the movie he ended up taking off the helmet for most of the movie, which is very unfaithful to the comic books, upsetting a lot of fans of the comics. This movie had a bad script. The action, like I said, looked like it should have been in the 80s. We were in the 90s now. It should have been better, and it just was a very bad movie of a really cool character and did not get its justice. And coming at number 6 we have Superman 4, A Quest for Peace. 1. There's a part where Superman takes all the nuclear weapons and throws them in the sun. 2. There's a part where there's a clone of Superman made by having Superman's DNA in the form of a hair and a nuclear missile thrown into the sun. 3. The overall plot is just very, very bad. And number 4, not even the late great Christopher Reeve was able to save this movie from failure. The title of this film is Superman 4, A Quest for Peace. It should have been titled Superman 4, Throw Shit into the Sun. And coming at number 5 we have Supergirl. 1, this is a horrible spin-off movie that should have never happened. Superman 1 and 2, not bad. 3, 4, and Supergirl, god-awful. 2, the script and plot is just horrible as well as the acting. And number 3, please do not watch this movie. Coming at number 4 we have Tank Girl. Yes, this does have a movie. Came out in I believe 1995, and it's a movie from 95 that looks like it was filmed in the 70s or 80s. It has bad story in my opinion, bad acting, bad script, bad everything. Why Malcolm McDowell even did this movie, I have no clue. You even have Iggy Pop playing a minor role of a pedophile. Awesome, right? And coming at number 3 we have Fantastic Four from the 90s. This film is real and you can find it on YouTube if you're up to watching all 90 minutes of this movie. I advise you don't. It's your own funeral. But this is a real movie, and one fun fact is the actors didn't even know that this movie had no intention of going to theaters because of how awful it is. The studio only made this movie because they were going to lose the rights to the film, and they wanted to make the film before they lost the rights. So they got people who specialized in low-budget movie making to make the film. That's how bad it is, people. And coming at number 2, we have Howard the Duck. This movie sometimes leaves me speechless. Just images of the film give me a headache. It looks horrible, and it is horrible. The movie would have been much better off if they left it the original idea, which was an animated film. Probably would have been cheesy and bad, but at least it would have been a cheesy, bad cartoon. Would have been forgivable. But instead they turned into a live-action film, and you get scenes like this.
I've given up trying to assimilate. I've got to get back to my own kind. Although, I have developed a greater appreciation for the female version of the human anatomy.
Howard, you really are the worst.
And that scene is just an example of why this movie comes in at number 2. If you want more proof, then go ahead and watch the whole film if you want. Just proceed with caution. And coming in at number 1, we have Catwoman. The reason I'm picking this film for number 1 is several. It has bad story, bad plots, bad acting. Why this movie got made, I have no clue. It came at a time where I think people were just trying to make money off of comic book movies. It's around the time where like literally everything was coming out. Daredevil, Fantastic Four, everything. I've heard people make the argument that, hey, at least Halle Berry's hot in it. If you want to watch a movie where she's hot, at least watch Swordfish, where she shows her tits, and it's a better movie. At least get Hugh Jackman and John Travolta in it. I mean, this movie is just... I mean, I've watched it once. I tried to watch it a second time. No. Never again. It's everything that a comic book movie shouldn't be. It doesn't entertain you. It doesn't keep you on the edge of your seat. You don't get the cool action scenes. You get nothing from it. I don't even advise you check this movie out. Don't waste your time. You'll regret it. You'll be happier if you do not see this movie. And this has been my opinion on why this movie right here is not the worst comic book movie of all time, or not even in the top 10 list. By any means is it a great movie? No. But I feel there's a lot of comic book movies a lot worse. And then here's some dishonorable mentions of movies I find to still be really bad, but not quite top 10 bad. And these movies are Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., 80s Punisher film, the 90s Captain America film, Green Lantern, Green Hornet, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, and Steel. These have been my opinions. I know people have their own opinions. That's fine. If you even think I missed a few things, feel free to comment. Let me know. I'll even respond to you. Like the page, subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at Josh VanHaver at Twitter. Same thing with Facebook. And some of you may even know me better on a Facebook page known as Nightwing.